Most people think self-sufficiency means growing more, buying more, and building more. That is why most fail. The truth is that truly self-sufficient systems do not grow bigger. They are designed to grow smarter. Today, I am going to show you a completely different way to build total food freedom. It is not about having more animals. It is about having the right system to connect everything. Because here is what nobody tells you. Most backyard farms are actually losing money every single month. Feed prices are rising. Maintenance never stops. Most animals consume far more than they could ever produce. So instead of building your freedom, most people accidentally build a financial trap they can never escape. But what if your land could feed itself? What if every bit of waste became a source of high-energy fuel? That is where everything changes. Once you see the hidden system, the old ways of farming simply fall away. Instead of raising isolated animals, you build deep connections between soil, water, and the life on land. Look at the traditional farm model. It is a linear path of consumption that leads directly to exhaustion and failure. We were taught to fight against nature, to use chemicals and heavy machinery just to keep the system on life support. The industrial machine was designed for scale, not for your backyard. It requires inputs that you simply cannot sustain alone. Every time you buy a bag of fertilizer or a bottle of pesticide, you are admitting that your system is broken. Dependency is the enemy of self-sufficiency. If you cannot produce what your land needs, you are not free. But while the world moved toward industrial scale, a secret was being kept alive by those who knew better. I spent years searching through forgotten archives, looking for the agricultural knowledge that our ancestors used to thrive. What I found was a blueprint for a living machine. A system that doesn't just grow food, it creates its own energy. This isn't theory, it is a proven, biological reality that has been suppressed to keep you dependent on the store. I have seen barren dirt turn into a literal jungle of food using nothing but these principles. It all starts with the foundation of life itself. I call them the secret seeds, strains that have survived for centuries. Most crops need full sun, but this grain thrives in the corners of your land that others ignore. Next is the iron root. It digs 5 feet deep to find water when the surface is dry. This root acts as a biological drill, pulling nutrients to the surface for all your other plants. Then there is the lunar vine. It traps morning dew and funnels it directly to its roots. It produces its own hydration system, allowing it to survive even the most brutal summer heat waves. The silver pulse is a nitrogen-fixing beast. It feeds the soil while it feeds your family. Planting this pulse is like injecting your garden with a permanent dose of high-quality organic fertilizer. Finally, the sun guardian, a tall, sturdy plant that protects the smaller ones from wind and heat. It creates a microclimate, reducing evaporation and keeping the ground cool for everything beneath it. But seeds are only half the battle. You need the veins of the earth to sustain them. We use a gravity-fed passive irrigation method that requires no electricity and zero maintenance from you. By following the natural contours of the land, we trap every drop of rain where it falls. These hidden trenches act as sponges, holding water for weeks and releasing it slowly to the roots. This creates a self-regulating cycle that keeps the soil moist even during the longest desert droughts. When you master water flow, the hardest part of gardening simply disappears from your daily life. We use ancient techniques like olipots to deliver water directly to the plant's root zone. This prevents evaporation and ensures that your plants never experience the stress of drying out completely. Roots will literally seek out these water sources, creating a strong and incredibly resilient plant system. Next, we introduce the animal partners. They are not just for food, they are your workers. Water is the lifeblood. When it flows correctly, your land stops being a burden and starts giving. Your chickens are the ultimate weeders and pest controllers, clearing your beds for the next planting. Their waste is high-energy fuel for your soil, turning scraps into the richest compost on earth. Rabbits provide cold manure that can be used instantly without burning your delicate young seedlings. Bees are the messengers of the system, ensuring that every flower becomes a fruit for your table. Without them, the system stalls. With them, your yields increase by over 40% every year. Even fish have a role. Their waste provides liquid nutrients for your most demanding leafy greens. This closed-loop aquaponics system produces protein and vegetables in the same tiny footprint of space. By connecting these elements, you eliminate the need for any chemical fertilizers or store-bought feed. This is total synergy, a system where every living creature supports the survival of the others. In this system, waste does not exist. It is simply fuel that hasn't been used yet. Composting is the heartbeat of the land. It turns death into life with incredible speed and efficiency. Beneath the surface, an army of microbes is working to unlock the energy trapped in organic matter. Earthworms are your silent tillers, aerating the soil and creating channels for water and roots to follow. We can even trap the heat from composting to keep our greenhouses warm through the freezing winter. This allows for year-round production in climates where traditional gardening would be impossible for months. Every scrap from your kitchen goes back to the worms, who turn it into the world's best fertilizer. This liquid gold is a superfood for your plants, giving them everything they need to produce massive yields. Even fallen leaves are a resource, acting as a protective mulch that builds soil and prevents weeds. Mulching is the final shield, protecting the soil life from the sun and locking in moisture for the plants. You don't need 5 acres to do this. You can start with just 100 square feet. Urban dwellers are using these same principles to produce 20% of their food on tiny balconies. By growing vertically, you can quadruple your growing space without adding a single inch to your footprint. Trellises and arches allow you to stack your production, with vines growing up while root crops grow down. Imagine if every lawn in your neighborhood was part of this hidden system. We would be unstoppable. Access becomes a tool for community, allowing you to trade fresh eggs for honey or greens for fruit. We even utilize the dark spaces under your porch to grow high-protein mushrooms on wood waste. Mushrooms are the final link in the waste chain, turning tough cellulose into gourmet food in weeks. This is the local grid of the future, a decentralized system of production that can never be shut down. Security isn't about how much you have in the bank, it is about how much you can grow. The proof is in the harvest. I have tracked the yields of these systems for over a decade. The weight of food produced per square foot is consistently 3 times higher than industrial organic farms. From just one tiny plot, we are able to preserve enough food to last through the entire winter. This is the ultimate peace of mind, knowing that your family is fed no matter what happens outside. While grocery prices soar, the cost of your homegrown food stays at 0. You have beaten inflation. The biggest hurdle isn't the soil or the seeds, it is the mindset you have been taught. You have been conditioned to believe that you are a consumer, but you were born to be a producer. This system is simple, it is natural, and it is something that is already hardwired into your DNA. We are reclaiming a heritage of self-reliance that was almost lost to the convenience of the modern world. When you take back control of your food, you take back control of your life. That is true freedom. It starts with a single seed, a single decision to see the truth and act on it now. This isn't a dream, it is a system, and I am here to help you build it step by step. If you want to master these secrets, hit subscribe right now. My next videos reveal the exact blueprints. Join the movement of those taking back their freedom. The revolution starts in your backyard. See you there. Imagine a world where hunger is a memory because every home is a source of life. We can build it. We do this for our children, for our health, and for the planet that sustains us all. Start today.